Okay, temperature is okay. Oh, I forgot to talk, sorry. Sorry about that. As you can see, this pair is custom made. We will finish this now. This pair is regular order. So we will make two pairs. You need to mix the glue. And then I have like 1 hour work and that's it. So two. Okay. Yeah, like 1 hour work approximately. So what you need to know about Zaki Star flip-flops is that everything is handmade, and that's not even the benefit. Because being handmade doesn't really improve the product. It just gives a soul to the product. Because if something is made with AI, you know that there was not a lot of creativity, skill, because everybody can put something into AI and it will be good. But to make flip-flops from pebbles, and to make them handmade, sorry about chicken. So to make flip-flops like this, I tried to teach a lot of people, like apprentice, and it's not easy. I can guarantee you that. And not that it would be like hard to do. It's nothing hard. It's like primary school art class. The point is that if you want to make it that it's quality, that's hard. Because everybody can make flip-flops like this. But to make them without mistakes, to make them to look good, that's the part where things get complicated. And now we will first glue everything one time and then we will glue it again, because you need to put two layers for glue to actually work. And it's super funny because I bought this glue to to test, and it didn't work because I put it just one time. And then I learned, I don't know how, with some luck, that you need to put it 2 times, and the same glue then started working, and that was like a big relief. Because basically now I would say that the pebbles are like the pebbles are the weak point. And when I was talking about producing stuff with AI and that everybody can do it, I can tell you that I asked shoemakers. I never wanted to make flip-flops, you know. People ask me, oh, did you had passion for footwear, or you had like, you had, I don't know, you were inspired to do footwear. And I just tell them I don't care about footwear. I just wanted to make like patent, sell the patent, make money, and be like inventor, like my greatest inspiration, Peter Floriancic. He invented spray for Coco Chanel, and I wanted to be like inventor like he was. And then I went to ask shoemakers to make me these flip-flops, and nobody knew how to make them. So I had to figure out everything on my own. And then I did figure out everything on my own. And that's the benefit. Because now I know the distribution prices, I know materials, I know production costs, I know time. So basically no worker can now trick me into whatever bullshit they could trick me, you know. They could say, oh, but this takes like 2 weeks. No, baby, I did everything myself. I know exactly how long does it take to make a product, to test different stuff, you know. So I think that it's very good part from like the founder. You know, I feel like Alexander the Great, because he was always the first in the battle, in the line. Hello, Jose Santos, are you from Brazil? So I like Alexander the Great because he was always the first in the battle. And that's also what I try to do. Just go through, you see, I do 10 years of flip-flops, and I still make flip-flops, the custom made, and this myself, you know, just because I mean, it's quite expensive, and then if I do this with some apprentice and he don't do it correctly, it's just not good. So I prefer to do that part. Even though from business perspective it's not optimal, I know. But not everything needs to be optimal. So yeah, Zaki Star goes against the flow, because only dead fish go with the flow. Hello, Brazil, bom dia. I was swimming, so my nose is full of water. Okay. And now the big ones. Hello. Basically flip-flops with pebbles. You're designed to walk barefoot. Sorry, forgot to talk. But sometimes I just fall into like deep flow. But also you can ask me something. So this will be very cute. It's healthy, that's important. They sell you Coca-Cola, they sell you McDonald's, they sell you Birkenstock, and it's not healthy. And that's the point. Why you have bad life, because you are not choosing products with brain, but with like primal instinct, and then you wonder why, but don't wonder. You know, brands don't improve anymore. They don't look how to make better products so you will buy more quality. They look how to make it cheaper So they will make more money, and that's the game. That's the name of the game. How to make more money and make the product cheaper and sell it for more. Make marketing that will enable us to sell you for more. But I don't think that's the best way. I don't even think that's good way. So I'm kind of like, be the change you want to see in the world. I want, when I buy product, I don't want to be expert in the field. I want to see a phone that I like and I want to buy it, and I want to trust that this brand that I bought it from has the best interest in me. So they will sell me the best phone. But that's not the reality today. Because if you go buy, I don't know, I don't want to name brands, but Apple is 4 times more expensive, but it's not 4 times better. So basically, brands are trying to take advantage of our knowledge, because what do you know about footwear, for example? You probably don't know how footwear is made, you don't know how you need to walk. Do you know that you need to step first on the front? And footwear is forcing you to step on the heel first, which is incorrect. And all this incorrectness then leads to problems with body. Also, McDonald's, Coca-Cola. Do you think it's healthy to drink Coca-Cola? No. Why they sell you Coca-Cola? It's not healthy. Even better question is why people buy Coca-Cola. But my argument is that maybe people don't know that it's not healthy, but also I believe that people don't care about that. So it's like the battle between companies producing products that are not good or healthy and people buying. So now if you buy the product that is not good, you bring them money, they make more of this product, they make more marketing, they sell more of that, and thing is growing. But on the other side, if people would be smart, they would say, okay, I don't like to make microplastic, I don't like to buy unhealthy products, I will stop buying Birkenstock, for example. And this company then would go without sales, would need to improve the product, or they would just go extinct, or they can improve the product and they would go up. But in case that this can happen, people need to have high level of understanding what is quality, because you don't know what is a good car if you're not expert in cars. Johnny Bahrain, Johnny Singh, hello, thanks for comment. So the point is that if you are not expert in today's world, you can't even buy quality products on like with informed decisions. You can make informed decisions if you're not expert. So the main idea of mine is that we should educate people. I'm not selling you anything. I want to educate you. I want to tell you how your body works. I want to educate you that muscles are important, because you see my posture is quite straight. You see? And muscles are holding my posture, not some shirt or some bullshit muscle. When you have strong muscles, you can hold posture. And also is with arch support or feet. You have 29 muscles in your feet. If you're not have strong muscles, they don't hold arch. Arch falls down, you have flat feet, your ankles go inside, you destroy knees, you destroy hips, and it's not the best. So the idea is that people should become like conscious consumers, which is not ideal. I don't even want that, because that means that, okay, now for footwear I have a lot of information and I can be smart. But when I'm buying a car or when I'm buying t-shirt, I'm not expert for t-shirts, I'm not expert for cars, so I don't want to spend 1 month learning what is good car, where is made, how they make it. I just want to like create environment where people would be conscious, so companies would be forced to make good products, and with that we would not need to be expert anymore, at least until they get the next circle and they realize that and they start scamming us again. So basically what I'm doing is, you see flip-flops with pebbles, you need, these are custom-made design, you can create your own engraving, and with that pebbles, your muscles in the feet are activated, because people who are selling you art support, they're the biggest scammers. You don't need art support. Basically, your body is perfectly designed and they sell you all this shit. You know, they just sell you all this shit like electrolytes and all of this. You don't need anything. Hello, thank you. Thank you for like. I want to tell you that your body is perfect. You don't need shit. Just use your body the way it was supposed to be used. Yeah, I need to wait a little bit.
There was no social media, and not a single computer game had ever been released. There was no TV or radio, and most of the best books hadn't been written yet. Gramophones were still a way off, meaning music mostly consisted of what you and your friends could make yourselves. Restaurants were few and far between.
So now I'm waiting. I will wait 10 minutes, maybe less. For glue you need to put 2 times. The point is that people deserve good products, and I think today is too much scammers. And I think that if you see the production, this is the hard part. It takes time, you need machines. This is the real deal. This is producing the world, improving the world. If you're just reselling this, you're not a brand like what Nike do and what Adidas and all this. They make products in China and they resell them. That's not even a brand, you're just reselling stuff. Bullshit. And all of these brands you see, $1 million shave club and all of this stuff, or something like that. Basically 99% of brands is useless, because they are selling products from China. Look, we make everything ourselves. That's the real deal, and that's the real contribution to the world. Because you don't really improve anything if you sell the product that was already made by someone else. Okay, you help to spread it, but that's still not like true improvement. So now I will put the second layer of glue. Hopefully this will work, but I don't have like time to wait. And I will take in consideration that the hot weather It's making everything dry faster. You see quality and production, that's important. Why do you buy Coca-Cola? Why do you buy stupid products? I never understand that. You see, there are probably many brands like me really developing, innovating. You know why Zaki Star flip-flops have pebbles on top? Because pebbles activate your muscles in your feet. That improves your blood circulation. It improves your feet shape. And it's all proven. We tested everything with our physiotherapists, not with with physiotherapists that worked with us. Because we didn't like possess them. We just called them. Do you have patience? Would you like to collaborate? And we work with Olympians of, physiotherapists of Olympic team. And they were very, very impressed by the product. So basically, but yeah, check out Zaki Star flip-flops, no, zakistar.com, and there you can see a bit of feedbacks of physiotherapists, and you can read some details. So now I'm putting the second layer on, and then I will put this together so that straps go between the sole and the pebble part. You know, do you care about your body? Communicate with me. There is nobody to communicate. But yeah, if you care about your body, then you should stop wearing like terrible footwear. Oh yeah, Zaki Star is improving the world one step at a time. And people don't care about that. No, just kidding. But it's funny, some people do care. I believe that Zaki Star, we have the best customers in the world. Because you need to be a little bit smart that you buy Zaki Star, you know. You can't be just a retarded fuck and buy flip-flops for 100 euros and not understanding why they're 100 euros. You know, because when you buy Gucci, all they offer you for your money is status. So you will feel better as a person. But what Zaki Star thinks, we already believe that you don't need status. We believe that you are good as you are. You just need better flip-flop because you have only one body and you need to take care of that body. So that's Zaki Star mentality. Hello. You know, you're good as you are because your body was perfectly designed. Basically, if you buy Gucci that improves your status, that means that your status was low before. You know, it's superficial. Now I just was thinking about, look, I don't even go to hairstylist because I don't believe that this should help you, and I'm probably more confident than 99% of people, just because I have this in me. It's not like I need Gucci, I need something from the outside. It's in me. I probably know more people in Miami to do business with that in Slovenia. You know, even people with money, I tried to sell Zaki Star flip-flops to one guy that was like investor. He was rich. And you know where was the problem? He wanted discount. So yeah, not everybody with money is never like the excuse. I mean, it's always the excuse. It's never the real problem. Because basically, you know, I can tell you a very good story about the money. So basically, I met one girl and she was like in hostel. She was cleaning dishes, doing dishes, whatever, to sleep in hostel for free. And then she bought Zaki Star flip-flops just to, because the product was actually good. So now you can see that even the people who don't have like too much money can afford this, and a lot of 18 years olds buy this for birthday and stuff. And then I go to the billionaire events and they don't buy Zaki Star flip-flop because they're too expensive, just because they don't understand the value. But yeah, money is never the problem. If you, it's just, you know, it's like transaction. It's what you believe you need versus what money means to you. So basically, if you believe that this is very important for you, you will pay for this strap 2 million euros. But if you don't believe that, you will not pay basically nothing. Now I need scissors. Wait for me, I will come back soon because we have a good debate. Found it. Coming back. So the main idea is that you never sell, never. You sell the value, at least Zaki Star tries to sell the value. Because everybody in this goddamn world will offer you some bullshit. Only Zaki Star will bring actual benefits. And that's the real power of the brand. That's the real deal, you know. You see, custom made strap. Logo. They're beautiful. Approved. What do you say? You like it, not like it? You know, I should be in Turkey now, partying, getting drunk. but I'm making flip-flops. That's the determination. When you cancel a threesome just to deliver the best flip-flops. That's determination.
Tweed are mostly for rich people. As for hobbies, you were bang out of luck there too. Most of the sports you know and love were yet to be invented, or at the very least codified. Tennis was a thing, as was cricket, if you happened to be English, but it was pretty hard to get to matches since there was no cars, or even trains at the time. All things considered, it was an entertainment wasteland. I'm telling you this, not to make you feel grateful for being alive in the era of Netflix and mobile phones. 2020 is teaching us that's a dubious honour at best. But to try and help explain how one of the most boring and mundane activities we humans do suddenly became the best thing since sliced bread in the 17th and 18th centuries. Better, actually, because sliced bread hadn't been invented yet. So everyone was basically sitting around, bored out of their brains, when a chap called Foster Powell came along.
Rasta flip-flops.
Kind of strange idea.
Get yourself a pair before the price gets high, you
Anyone
see?
who was listening, that he could walk 50 miles in 7 hours. It was such a strange boast that he got a good bit of action. As it happened, Powell succeeded in his task, and in doing so became the world's first pedestrian. Not a pedestrian as we know them today, exactly, but a proponent of pedestrianism, or race walking. Now, I know what you're thinking. Race walking? That sounds shit. And to be fair, the very name, race walking, does sound like an oxymoron. A bit like making the low jump an Olympic sport. But as strange as it may sound, pedestrianism was huge in its heyday, bringing in spectators by the thousands and making stars of its top athletes. Foster Powell, incidentally, is widely considered to be the very first English athlete. But whilst Powell was the first, the real father of pedestrianism was Robert Barclay Allardyce, also known as Captain Barclay, a proud Scotsman who took Powell's idea and ran with it. Well, walked with it. Walked really, really, really far with it. The feat of pedestrianism that Barclay is known for today took place in 1809 when he walked a staggering, literally staggering most likely, 1,000 miles in 1,000 consecutive hours, all for the princely sum of 1,000 guineas. Now, some of you may be thinking that walking 1,000 miles in 1,000 hours wouldn't be so hard. After all, if we assume the average person walks 4 miles per hour, you'd need just 250 hours to cover the distance, leaving the other 750 hours to put your feet up and play Doom. No, wait, that hadn't been invented yet either. Not that it would have mattered if it had been, because Captain Barclay didn't only have to walk 1,000 miles in the allotted time, he had to walk exactly 1 mile every single hour for 1,000 hours, which is just over 41 days, by the way, meaning not only did this absolute beast walk the equivalent distance from Lisbon to Paris in just over a month, but he did so while sleeping for no more than 40 minutes at a time in the process.
Oh
I
my,
don't know about you, but if someone woke me up after 40 minutes every hour, 1,000 times in a row, sooner or later, I'd probably snap and attempt to murder them and everyone else in sight. Which, funnily enough, is exactly what pedestrian Peter von Ness did in 1879, when attempting an even more sleep-deprived version of Barclay's epic milestone, walking 2,000 half miles in 2,000 half hours, which is basically the same time and distance, only with even shorter periods of sleep. Apparently, after completing his 1,718th half mile, by which point he presumably resembled an extra from The Walking Dead, Van Ness pretty much went nuts, grabbing a gun out of his pack, shooting his trainer, and firing shots at random into the crowd before falling into a coma. If the stories are true, when he eventually came round sometime later, he simply got back up to his feet and kept on walking. The odd psychopathic killing spree or zombie apocalypse false alarm aside, the sport of pedestrianism was growing faster than ever, and it wasn't long before it made its way over the pond to the US, where a flamboyant news reporter called Edward Payson Weston was preparing to amble onto the scene. It was election season in the States at the time, and Weston, as a staunch supporter of the Southern Democratic Party, was confident of victory for his favoured candidate, John C. Breckinridge. So confident, in fact, that when asked by a friend if he'd care to place a wager on the outcome, Weston put his money where his mouth was. The bet was simple. Whoever lost would walk from Boston, Massachusetts, where Weston worked, to Washington, D.C., in order to watch the inauguration of the new president. In hindsight, it was a particularly poor bet for Weston, because this was 1860, and John C. Breckinridge was up against none other than Abraham Lincoln, considered by many to have been the greatest president in US history. And whilst the general public at the time...
We created two beautiful models. You can check the finish. Now we'll just put these two. You see, that's the machine. That's how it's done. Thank you for watching. Subscribe.